Hello friends, today I will be discussing about how to enter data or how to input the data collected from the field for its analysis using SPSS. As we know, SPSS is used for statistical analysis. So, for statistical analysis, we will be using SPSS, and it is a very important and very uh, what you can say most popular software which is used for statistical analysis. So, as you can see, this is the home screen of the SPSS software. So, whenever you will open this particular window, you will get, whenever you will open SPSS, you will get this particular home screen. And you can see in the top corner, you can see here it is written untitled IBM SPSS statistical data editor. So, this particular software is made by IBM, and if you see, this is an what you can say an input file. So, whenever you will run SPSS, you will just see that there will be two files. One will be the input file and then other one will be the output file. So, the output file will give us the result, whatever analysis we will perform. We will go for performing descriptive analysis or inferential analysis. You will get another file where the output will be stored. So, that I will be discussing that one whenever I will go for the different analysis processes, and there I will be discussing about different statistics which is common for descriptive and inferential analysis. So, basically whenever you are going to perform an analysis, you should first know how to enter data in the spreadsheet. You can say here it is also one spreadsheet. You know that one other common software is there, which is Excel, which is also used by the researcher for performing analysis, but it is actually a database management software. So, it is not only used for statistics, but other different database management. For that also Excel, Microsoft Excel is being used. Now, if you plug in, you can add in one package in that Excel, that is called statistical package. If you will add that particular package, then you can also perform different statistics in Excel also. But however, here we are discussing about SPSS. So, you just try to see, this is the home screen. So, you just clearly try to see there are certain command in the top side: file, edit, view. These all commands are there. Analyze, you can see these are being used for different purposes. Whenever I will discuss you about different statistics, I will be dealing with all of them, but today I will be discussing on how you are going to enter data in a particular SPSS input file. Now, you just see here in the lower half, there is two options are there. One is data view and the other is variable view. So, it is quite important to understand that what these two tabs means for. Now, just clearly you can see that this data view is highlighted here. So, you can see this particular spreadsheet is talking about the data, means suppose there is data related to gender, related to different background variables, suppose medium of instruction, suppose school boards, suppose achievement, suppose interest. So, different types of variables are there, and whatever values they will take, that will be entered in this data view. So, this is about data view. I will come to it later, but you just try to see the other option which is called as variable view. So this is most important, which is quite different from what you have seen in Excel packages. You just try to see this particular window is used to explain about our variables. Suppose your research is about the study of students achievement and students interest in science. Now there are, that means there is one variable which is called as achievement in science, and the other variable is called as interest in science. And then other background variables are also there. One you can say as that the gender of the student or sex of the students, which can have different categories, male, female, or the third gender. You can also have the other background variable like type of school management, if it is a private school or it is a government school. And again you can have different boards of studies. It can be a CBSE board student, a CBSE board school, or the student can be from Bihar board school, or student come from other Gujarat board school, or different other boards like ICSE board school. So these are different variables. You have got sex as a variable, you have got school type of management as a variable, you have got achievement in science as a variable, you have got interest in science as a variable. So whatever variables are there, you have to define those variable first whenever before entering the data in the SPSS file. So let us see, whenever so I switch to variable view, the other one is data view. So once you will define the variable, then you can come to the data view and you can enter the values here. Suppose here you can see in the first row, you can see this is written variables, it is written variables here. So once you will define variables, then you will get that this all column headings will change to that particular variable name, and then inside you can write that particular, suppose first variable is about sex of the student. So and that the first student's sex is, suppose he is a boy, then the first in this particular cell you can enter boy. In the second is, suppose he is again a boy, you can enter boy. Like this you can enter in this particular column. So let us first define the variables. So this is about entering the data values, and the first row talks about name of that particular variable. So suppose sex is one name of the variable, the values which it can take is boys, girls, transgender, etc. Similarly, a board is one variable name, and the values or data it can take is CBSE, ICSE, or some other state board. So such like that, this is the way you can understand what is data view and what is variable view. Now let me enter some values, then you can you will be in a position to understand it in better way. Okay, let us go for the variable view again. Now as I told that first can be the first variable can be the sex of the student. So one thing you just try to understand, suppose I will write here sex of the student, and when we will move towards the second column, you just try to see what it is showing. The flash message has come that the variable name contains an illegal character. So let me tell you that in the name of the variable you cannot give spaces. You can use underscore sign, but you cannot give spaces. So I will just write sex, and you can always write of and then student. So this one I have written. Now you just click outside, you will just see that it has taken one particular other columns. You can see that it has also taken some values. Now once I have written sex of the student, by default or from the name of that particular variable, it is trying to take some default values. Let me explain you what are these other values or what are these other columns type. You can just try to see that if I will now move to data view, you will just see that that particular variable name, it is now being shown here, sex of the student, you can see it is here. So again I am returning to the variable view, and then you can see that this is the name of the that particular variable. Now second is about type of that particular variable. Now what is the meaning of type? Now type is that which type of value you are going to enter here. So suppose you will be entering here in sex, you will be entering writing boys or girls, then of course it is not a numeric type. So if you will click here, you just see here 3 dots have come, so you can click here and you can select here string type, and then you click OK. So it has become string. So once it has become string, now it can take the values as you can write values as boy and girl, like this you can write. But if it was numeric, then you cannot write the it in character form. So if you want to write it in character form, then you have to change the variable name type to string. There are other types also, you can use it, but basically you have to go for numeric type. Maximum of the type you have to go for numeric type, otherwise you can also go for string. Sometimes data type is also there, but maximum of the time it will be in the form of numeric type. But for your understanding, I am keeping it in a string type. It can be used here, and I will also tell you that why you are using it in numeric form. See, in numeric form, because you have to go for analysis, and you must have also done some statistics using Excel. You must have seen there that you used to enter the values in terms of numeric. For suppose for boy you can give the numeric value as 0, and for girl you can give the numeric value as 1, or vice versa. So once you are giving the values in this particular form, because you are going to do mathematics, so numbers always a basic preference, the entry of these numbers are also easier, and the calculation and other parts also become easier. You can always recognize the different sets of data in terms of numeric defining it in numeric type. So however, let me keep it in string type, and then the other is third column is width. Width says that how much character length it can be. So if your suppose you will write that particular male or female or boy and girl, how many character length it is required. So it is by default it is 8, but you can always increase it to higher value. Now decimal, it is not required because it is a string value, but once you will make it numeric, you can also go for defining the decimal points, how many decimal points will be there. So you understood what is name of the variable, what is type, what is width, how many, what is the character size, that particular letter size, how much it can take. So I have taken here as 10, and then decimal is not applicable here. Now the fourth column, fifth column is label. Now let me tell you that what is the meaning of label. So label is used so that suppose when I was trying to enter in the name column, when I was trying to enter sex of students in a particular form, giving gap in between, so it was not taking that particular thing, it was not accepting that, and then I used underscore. So that is the nature of how you can enter a variable name. But suppose you want that no, it should be named like in the proper form using SPSS, and whatever form you want that it will come in the output screen. So whenever you will run the analysis, in whatever form it will come, here you can label it in that required way. So here I can write sex of the student. Okay, so here I can write sex of the student. So and when you will run the analysis, you will get in the output screen, suppose it will involve this variable, then at place of this particular variable name, the label will appear, sex of the student, that will be written. So it will be visually appealing, and you can understand in better way, anyone can understand. Now that this particular thing, uh, what you can say, the sixth column is talking about values. So values, I will make you understand. Let me go to the other variable name, because once you decide the type, many things becomes uh, not applicable, or you don't have to explain. Suppose for example, when I took it as a string type, the decimal column is not applicable here. Similarly, once I have taken this as a string type, the values is also not required. I will make you understand. Let me go for the second variable, there you can understand. Then next column talks about missing. Now what is the meaning of missing? So whenever you collect data from the field, from the survey or whatever data set you got, you can have different missing values. Suppose a particular student has not mentioned his sex, he has not put any tick mark or not responded. So that particular cases you have to identify. So missing, this column tries to identify those missing cases. So once let me click here. So if I will click here, I can see that again these three dots are appearing. I can click here, and you just see this particular screen has come. No missing value, discrete. So if there is no missing value, if you are sure that no, every person has entered his or her sex, then you click on this particular option. But if you are sure that no, other some values are there which are missing, some sample has not given his response on that sex question, then you can go for using this particular option. So now just try to see, you can always mention to identify which are the missing values. So suppose most popular one is using this 999, so like this, or suppose you can use 99 or triple four five nines. So whenever you will enter the data in the data view, you can always mention this 999, because if I will press here OK sign, then it has taken this value 99, and this 999, and this is 99,999. So these two value it will identify as missing entries or missing values. So in that particular data view, suppose this is the sex of the student. So if in this particular column, while entering the data, if first student has not entered his sex, then you can use this value 999. So this particular, then it will understand this, while you will go for analysis, it will understand that this particular sample is a missing case. So this denotes that this particular sample has not responded. So this is the way you are using this particular missing column, so to identify those missing cases, because it is always essential to get the exact number of n. What you are doing in Excel and other softwares which are just like calculator, you can without, no, I am not saying that it is always used like that, but if you have added the statistical package, always it can work like SPSS or other software statistical packages. But otherwise, whenever you are using Excel, in the missing cases, it takes the effective n or effective sample size become larger, but the actual sample size is it may have some missing cases. So this particular column is used to identify those missing cases, so that you can always know that what is the effective n or what is the effective degrees of freedom. So it is about this. Now next column is about the column width. So this is column width, means how much this in data view, this column width, you can just try to understand. In this data view, it is in this variable view, it is written 12. Suppose I will make it 20, and now we try to see in data view, it has become more broader. So this is the width of this particular variable entry. So this much width it has got. You can just try to see the other columns, it are quite thinner than in comparison to the first column. So this is about column, this is about this particular command column. Now then next option is alignment, you know, left aligned, right aligned, or center. So whatever data entry will be, it will be left aligned or right aligned or center aligned. So you can see here different options are there. The next one is the scale. Now what is the meaning of scale? The scale means that whatever value you are entering in that particular variable, it is measured under which scale. Of course, you can understand sex of the students are the example of nominal scale. So just try to see, it is by default it is showing nominal, but other is also there, it can become ordinal also or nominal also, but because it is a string type, just try to see, it is only showing ordinal nominal. I will show you in the other example when I will take the second variable. You can see that other scales are also visible, because you know that there are other types, other scales are also there, nominal, ordinal, ratio and interval. But here this is an example of nominal. In no way boys are better than girls or girls are better than boys, that you will go for. Whenever rank order type of data is there, you go for ordinal scale, but here it is nominal scale. So it is nominal. And then input, it talks about the nature of this variable, whether it is a independent variable or dependent variable or a split variable. So input, default value is taken as input. Input means by default it means the study variable or the independent variable, and that this target variable is the dependent variable, and then it can be also both. So this is also, you many a times you just try to keep it the default value. So default value is the input value. So whenever you are trying, whenever you are going for experimental research, you may have got criterion variable and predictive variable. So you can have that particular role assigned here, but otherwise you just try to keep it in whatever default form it has taken, because you are entering the variable. So basically they are input variable, otherwise you can have different categories. So this is about variable names. Now let us take on another variable name. Now I am taking it as board. Let me keep it as board here, and here let me take it as numeric type. Now you just try to see, the width has become 8 and the decimal places it has taken 2. Now here I can always write board of school, from which school board the student is from. Now here just try to see, because this name cannot be taking space, so I have written only board, but in the label column I have tried to write it in a way so that in which way I want to see it in the output. So it is now written with gap and in the proper form. Now just try to see the next is values. Here I can explain you what is the meaning of value. So suppose this is board and you click here and you give a value, suppose 1 is, suppose in the data if you will enter 1, then it is suppose CBSC board. 1 means CBSC board, and then you click here add. Then second one, suppose 2 is the suppose state board, state, and then 3 is suppose ICSC. So this is what I mean to say, what is the use of these values. So in this way you will also get this particular thing. Whenever you will enter data, suppose you will enter 1, it will become CBSE, if you will enter 2, it will become state board, and if you will enter 3, it will become the other type, the ICSE board. So this is use of value. I will show you when I will go for the data view. You can observe this particular things. Missing, again you have understood this column is by default it is taking 8, alignment is right. Now here the board is also a nominal scale. Just try to see here, because the data type is numeric, you just try to see one more scale has been added here. First it was nominal and ordinal, now it is showing scale. The scale comes under whenever your data is in the continuous scale, whenever it is it can take any value. Basically the main data main variables, or main what you can say study variables, like in this particular example which I am taking, which I am explaining here, achievement in science, interest in science. So those are in the interval or ratio scale, interval scale basically. So it can take this particular thing, but this board comes under category only, because only 3 values it can take, 1, 2 and 3, or CBSE, state board and ICSE. So again you make it nominal scale, then leave it. Now third one is, suppose your one more background variable you can take, medium, and it let us take it as numeric only, 8 and 2, and then you can write here medium of instruction. And I am not going to put values here, because different in different to explain these particular values I have already given you example. So let it by default, let it be whatever things are there. So I am not going to change all these things. It is also a nominal scale, of course, because medium is, suppose 2 categories you are making, Hindi medium and English medium, so it is also a nominal scale. Now coming to the main variables, first one is achievement, and next one is interest. So it is again taking some default values, numeric, and this I will write here achievement in science, and here I will write interest in science. So I can label it in proper way, and values is not applicable, because here it can take several values. It is a continuous scale. So this when it is what you can say, when it is a continuous scale, then this values column it is not required, because it can take any value. Now missing, you can define column width, you can understand. Then here the scale will become this particular ratio interval scale. So you put it in interval scale. So in this way, first if we define the different variables, now you can go for the data view. Now we just try to see, this is the data view. You can see our variables names are visible here: sex of student, board, medium, achievement and interest. So let me enter. I have told you that this is this can take values in string form. So you can always write here boy, girl, you can make it boy, girl, then here again boy. So I am just putting some values so that you can understand. So this is I have entered for the sex, only 11 students I have entered. Then board, for board I have taken it in numeric form. So I have to enter 1, 2, 3. So I will enter here 1. Now just try to observe, I have entered 1 and it is becoming 1.00. Why? Because it has got 8 width and 2 decimal places. So it is taking 2 decimal places. Okay. So because of this it is showing like this. So any value you put it. So suppose this is board. Now I told you that it will, when you write one, then it will become CBSE and this. So how to change this one, how to make this visible? You can always use this particular column, this particular command. You can observe here one command is there. So once you uh, click this one, this all values will become whatever value definitions you have given. So you can see here it has become like this. Once you remove this, it will again take the actual values which I have entered. So if you want to see with that particular value name, so in this way we can see these particular values either in the value name form or in the exact entry form. So this is used. Again the medium you have make it you have made it Hindi and English medium, and you can enter like this 2 1, and then achievement you can always understand. Now you just try to see in the medium, you can always enter this one, and then suppose you don't want this decimal value, then you can go for this variable view, and then here you can make it 0, and now try to see this medium has become only the whole numbers. Now achievement you can understand, suppose the achievement is out of 100, then the values can be 56, 78, 56 or 98. This for your understanding only, and you can always have these values in other ways also. So and suppose interest is out of 50, so it can take different values like this. So in this way it can take values, different values it can take. So this way it can be, you can see this is the way you can enter the values in SPSS. Now you can always see that these are the exact field values. Whenever you will collect the data, you can enter like this. What by seeing the exact data you can enter, it is that superficial data I have entered. Suppose the data you have entered in Excel, you can also copy it from there and you can paste it here. So that also it can be done. So as I told you that if the data is in the Excel and you have entered the data in the Excel form, so from there also you can copy it. So suppose I am opening one Excel file, suppose this is your Excel file. Here also suppose your data is there in for achievement and interest. So suppose you want to input these values, then you can always copy this one. Suppose I will copy this one, and then in achievement I want to enter, so I will suppose I will remove these values and then I can paste. Just you try to see. So I think one value is less. Here it was only 10 values, and here 11 values are there. So you can always enter it here. Okay, suppose I am again keeping it like this. Similarly for interest also you can copy it and you can paste it there. So you can always paste it here. So like this. So it can be pasted from the Excel also. One other method is also there, from where you can bring that particular values from directly from Excel without using copy and paste. So that I will be discussing in another video. So in this particular video we have discussed how to enter data in an SPSS package, so that you can use it for analysis. Basically I told you about the window, input window, which we get when we open a SPSS file, and you get the data view and the variable view. What is the meaning of variable view? In that variable view basically used to define the variable, and in the data view you are entering the values. So that was the intention, that was the real objective of this particular video, to understand the data input screen or input mode of that particular SPSS. Although you can always import the data from Excel directly, or you can copy, which I have told already, copying the file and you can paste it here in different columns. But there are other technique also that I will discuss in another video. So I hope you understood what is the meaning of uh, this particular inputting variables in SPSS, and what is data view and what is variable view. So this is all about entering data in SPSS. I hope you understood this particular thing, and I always ask you that you should subscribe to this particular channel. Thank you.